Hello and welcome. Olive trees can live for over 1,000 years and some are still bearing fruits today. These silent witnesses of history inspired me deeply during my trip to Spain. Science shows that painting activates your frontal lobe, the part of your brain responsible for memory, language and focus. When you paint, you actually train your brain to better remember names, events, new languages, even your travels. That's how I vividly remember my own trip to Spain. In this lesson from my book, Watercolor Trip to Spain, we'll paint peaceful olive trees on a hillside. A simple and relaxing scene with beautiful air perspective. It's beginner friendly and I think you will really enjoy it. Please forgive me if I make any mistakes in English, I'm still improving it. And if you enjoyed this lesson, subscribe to my channel, I'll be sharing many more. Let's begin. Let's open the book and find the lesson that I want to show you today. It's a simple lesson of olive trees in Spain. It's called olives. So we are supposed to paint here in this page. We have 2 attempts, 2 tries, but I think in order to show you the instructions, I will lay it like this and I will tear out this page, this part of the page. As you see, it's easy. So you just tear it away. Yep. I will lay the instructions here that you can see, and I will tape the paper here. I like a lot this tape. I like especially this color. Let's start with painting. Step 1. We have this step 1 reference photo. So that is our step 1, and we are going to start with this basis layer. It's called pre-wash the entire sheet. Use watercolor to wash the tree crowns. These stains and the ground. Okay, so for tree crowns, I will firstly I will pre-wash the sheet, you see, and then I mix colors for for the crowns. I take the yellow ochre and I mix it with yellow. So it's the base layer that later will be covered with second layer and also with paraffin wax to make the effect. Here and here I cover, and here. And for the ground I will take just yellow ochre, transparent, a lot of water. I just cover it with yellow ochre. Perfect. Now let's wait until it dries. The picture is dry, and now we can apply the paraffin wax for making the sunny effect. We use this circular movement to partly wrap the sunny sides of tree crowns and the grass. I will add here some sunny sides here, 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 and the tree crowns. I'm just pushing it a little bit, not too much. Yeah, and covering the places, these places where I want to leave this trace of paraffin wax of the color underneath. Yeah, that's enough, not so much. Now we can proceed to the step 2. And we start with pre-washing the sky, washing the sky and the mountains. For the sky, I will use ultramarine, and black, ivory black. For the mountains, ultramarine with yellow ochre. I'll mix more ultramarine. And yellow ochre. This is for the mountains. As you see in the picture, this part is gray, then it goes to white and a little bit of blue, and here blue. Yeah, firstly I will pre-wash the sky. And then I can add gray color, as you see here. And then I can lift a little bit to make this white line, the white part of clouds. And add some intense color or ultramarine. I think it's too intense. Like this. And now we can wash the mountains. Starting, I will lift here some paint, and starting here with the color, mixing yellow ochre, green and ultramarine. So yellow ochre, green and ultramarine. And adding some browns. I'm mixing alizarin crimson with yellow ochre. Here is more green. And here I add some alizarin crimson. And I continue to make the soft transition here. And I'm covering all the area behind the trees. Please vary colors to make the landscape more interesting. And I will add some shadows from the clouds on the mountains. I mix ultramarine with yellow ochre and with alizarin crimson. And I added wet on wet on the mountains. I try to vary the color. And I will soften this edge. And I will soften this also. Here I will add more ultramarine to make the transition between clouds, sky and the mountains. Just a few more shadows on the mountain, and I will lift here a little bit of this green. Just take a damp brush and lift the paint from here. I think I will need to soften these edges here as well. Here and here. And here I will add more blue. This part is almost ready. I'm just softening, blurring the edges here. I don't want to leave here any contrast. And we can proceed to the next step to wash the, as you see here in the second reference photo, to wash the crowns of the trees. For the mixture, I will use phthalo blue, which is very intense, but I like to mix it with different colors. Yellow ochre, yeah, you see, it became green, and burnt umber. As you know, I like to mix browns with greens. In the instructions written watercolor, it means vary the color with different shades. I'm gonna use also yellow with yellow ochre. So I'm gonna add a little bit of paraffin wax. Especially on the tree or on the sky, to make the nice rough transition between sky and tree. And let's begin drawing the tree crowns. You see, the paraffin wax pops up and creates this nice texture. I'm adding browns to these greens. I'm creating like the shape of the tree somewhere. It shouldn't be very dark. Here the colors are colder. I'm using more blue, ultramarine with yellow ochre. I load up the brush with green, more water, brown, yellow ochre, I could put some dark values closer to the bottom because it is somewhere in the shadows. To give it more volume. As you can see, the contrast between the foreground, middle ground, let's say, and the sky and the mountains feels darker and creates this nice air perspective here. And then I will add some branches. It will look very good. I just lift up just a few dark points. Let's continue to the trees here on the left. It's nice how the paraffin wax works. It creates this nice subtle structure, texture of the trees. As you see, I'm changing colors continuously. I try to vary the shade of each green. Try to mimic the form of olive trees and still not too dark, and they are still transparent, airy. Oh, that's my favorite mixture is phthalo blue with burnt sienna. It gives nice shadows. So I will add some shadows here. Maybe it's too dark. I just take this from here. I think it's enough for the shadows. And okay, this is too intense. It's too much contrast here and here as well. It's not written in the book, but I would do like this. Yeah. And now I can add wet on wet. As you see, they're blending quite nice in the background. And it gives the look more air perspective. So I pre-washed already covered area and I just added later wet on wet. Ready. So we have the distant middle. We continue to the ground. For the ground, I will take yellow ochre, and lemon yellow. It's Spain, it's warm, summertime, it's warm there. And that's closer to foreground, it should be warmer. As you see, I'm trying to make this transition to this line softer. Yeah, like this. And now so there was yellow ochre and lemon yellow, and I add more burnt umber here. And I continue covering it. And closer, I will add burnt umber and more of yellow ochre. And I would add also alizarin crimson in the foreground, would be nice. I lift up a little bit here, colors. And now I will add green grass here. I'll take phthalo blue and yellow ochre and green, yellow ochre and green. No need for phthalo blue. I'm just adding wet on wet a few islands of grass here and here. Maybe some distant. And here, yeah. Okay, and I will take more brown, burnt umber, and add some darker shades inside the grass, just because it's the foreground, so it will look nice. It's still wet, so I will skip this step because I have to wait. And I will start with tree trunks, which is yellow ochre, brown, and yellow. Yellow is already here. I will add some ultramarine to neutralize this brown. And we'll cover the tree. Few branches here. here, and some ultramarine will go here. That's one. Another will have more violet shade. It is here. The paper is still wet, as you see here. It's not a problem, but somehow I have to control it. Okay, that's the distant tree trunk, and I will make this one. Hopefully it's already, it has already dried. Okay, let me try. So this tree trunk goes here, here, it's quite big, here, and the branches here. Yeah, a few branches. And 1 tree branches here. Actually, this brush is good, so you can make any, even very, very thin lines. Like, check this, yeah. Okay. I have more trees here. Okay, let me try. It's more with red. Oh, it's quite okay. It's quite dark and it dried already, so you can see I can form the shape of the tree. Nice. Make it transparent. And 1 more tree here. Makes sense to start from up to the bottom. Then it is easier to control. Okay, this is too dark, so I will lift a little bit of color of pigment with the dump brush. Yeah, so it's not so dark. And I can add here few shadows while it's still wet, so they blur inside the tree. I think I can add already here more details. This part is already, looks already dry, hopefully. And the paper is ready to make the cast shadows from the trees. I will mix black and alizarin crimson and a small amount of ultramarine. Make a nice mix, and then I just pull it from the tree. showing the form of the road, how it goes. And trying to make the shadow transparent. And trying to vary the colors inside the shadow. As you see, I have taken here more blue because it goes over the grass. And I will make here the shadow more denser and darker, like this. And here, shadow is lighter. So pick up some color here. And the next shadow, the same color, alizarin crimson with black. Again, I add some dark and I just pull it from here, making it thinner and thinner. Yeah, that's the second shade. Then we have here shadow. And then we have few distant shadows there. It's hard to see them. Yeah, they're still present. And there is one shadow here in the background. I take ultramarine and just pull it behind the tree. And make it less contrast. Oh, it just disappeared. Yeah, like this. So I will add here just a small line to show that shadows goes from here as well. Make it a little bit darker. Yeah. So the shadow is ready, and now I will make some texture on the road. I will use brown, making transparent stains, showing the form of the road. Okay, it goes like here, here. I try to load up enough water to put the stains more transparent. Use different colors to add some perspective. just to stain in the foreground. I don't know. Probably it is a shadow. I can spray some drops to make it more nicer here on the grass, on the road, to add some texture, and here as well, the foreground on the book. And I can add some grass here, just a few accents. It will be enough to imagine the whole image. I'm just doing like small shadows in the grass, especially on the foreground. And here, oh, it's too big. Yeah, like this. And now I will make the shadows darker to emphasize the sunny light. I will use alizarin crimson and ultramarine and brown. More ultramarine to make the shadow here. And here on the right side, because sun is like comes from left, and this branch here, I will make it more rounded form. And I'm trying to use different shades, different colors. To create variety of colors. And the darker I do the shadows, the sunnier will the image appear. And a little bit darker here on the middle ground. And just a few stains here and here. Yeah, I think it's enough. And of course this tree here. I'm trying to make the form of the tree, of olive tree. You know, it has very complicated form. Here it will be darker because the shadow overlaps. So now I will change the color of the tree stem to more brown, green brown, because it's too light now. Oh, I didn't see that this drop. Yeah. Okay, it's time to add some details like shadows in the tree crowns. I will make greens and I will add some shadows here under the tree crowns. Yellow ochre with greens here, here. I will add them again. Sometimes it happens when it dries, it disappears. Okay, so here just a few shadows. And I think I will add some warmer colors on the grass here. And a few here, just to show the road here. And a few darker spots and stains inside the shadow to emphasize the shadow in the dark, to make it more transparent. Yeah, so it's almost done. It's supposed to be a simple painting, just for fun. Important not to overload with details all the picture, so it looks nice. Okay, just a few brush strokes. I would add some warm greens here in the foreground. Here. Yeah, and I would spray a little bit of the stones in the front side, on the road especially. Yeah. Okay, I think the picture is ready, and we can now untape it and try to see it in the frame, how it looks like. Yeah. It is small, but it's still nice. Watercolor likes small size. Yeah. Okay, let's put it in the frame. We have frame here and have this nice picture. So now the size is just as we need it. I just put it here and let's see what we have. Yeah. So we have this nice picture now. Thank you for your attention. It was nice to paint with you. Let's see the picture closer. Look, it's so nice in the frame. Okay, I'm gonna prepare a new lesson for you and see you next time. Have a good day.